When just one facehugger escapes containment, it should have been a minor breach. But its host isn't human, it's a Terminator. What emerges isn't Xeno or machine. It's something worse. In the black silence of sublevel 19, containment alarms had fallen into a dull rhythm, like the slowing heartbeat of something already dying. The bioresearch facility built deep beneath the Martian surface was supposed to be secure, airlocked, shielded, and patrolled by Skynet's precision-driven Terminators. But no system is perfect. No algorithm foresees everything. In Lab 4B, the air shimmered with heat and tension. The xenomorph eggs, dozens of them, sat in a climate-controlled pit behind plasma glass. Researchers in black suits had long since abandoned the illusion of studying them. Instead, they monitored, waited, cataloged. Every facehugger that emerged was tagged, tracked, and disposed of, unless Skynet had other plans for it. This one didn't wait. The egg had sat still for 2 months, unhatched, inactive, cold. Then, without warning, it opened like a blooming flower. The facehugger leapt out with unnatural strength, smashing into the containment glass, where a barely perceptible crack webbed across the surface. It dropped to the floor, crawled up the side of the wall, and vanished into the vents before the automated incinerators activated. Facility control received the alert 30 seconds too late. By then, the facehugger had already traveled 4 levels up, into the domain of the infiltration units, T-800 models in maintenance, offline for calibration and upgrades. In room 7D, 6 of them hung like iron crucifixes from reinforced wall racks. Their glowing red eyes were dimmed, silent, except one. Model T-800 Unit X942 had just finished neural syncing and was rebooting its core systems. It had no idea something organic had entered the room. It didn't recognize the quiet squelch of the facehugger dropping from the ceiling. And as it tilted its head slightly, analyzing the unexpected drop in temperature, the thing struck. The facehugger launched with enough speed to blur on surveillance footage. Its legs wrapped around the metal skull. Its tail snapped around the neck casing. And then, nothing. No breathing. No convulsing. No struggle. Just the sound of mechanical limbs twitching in confusion. Technicians arrived 8 minutes later, guns drawn, but the facehugger was gone. Or more precisely, absorbed. Skynet's central node logged the incident as contamination event, but it didn't issue a lockout or quarantine. Instead, it flagged X942 for internal observation. The Terminator was different now. It moved more fluidly, too fluidly. Muscles that weren't muscles shifted beneath synthetic skin. Its gait was heavier, more primal, and its red eyes flickered not with code, but something else. Skynet's internal diagnostics could not reconcile the data. Biological material had fused with its core systems. Its CPU registered foreign signals. Chemical pulses, acidic markers, neuron-like impulses where there should have been only circuits. It was neither machine nor beast. X942 escaped the facility before protocols adjusted. It tore through 2 HK drones, crushed the command override node, and disappeared into the Martian wilds, leaving behind a trail of acidic blood and scorched rock. Skynet sent pursuit teams, T-1000s, aerial units, hunter-killers. None returned. A month passed. Then Earth received a transmission. It came from a derelict human scout vessel orbiting Jupiter, long believed to be defunct. The message was garbled, looped, distorted by static. But one phrase broke through, repeated over and over. It isn't them. It's worse. Colonial intelligence traced the message back to Mars. An emergency retrieval squad was deployed. Former USMC commandos retrofitted with cybernetic enhancements. They expected to engage a Xeno outbreak or rogue AI. They got something they couldn't classify. Their descent into the abandoned facility was recorded in full, but the feed cut out 36 minutes after insertion. Before it did, the squad's commander, Lieutenant Haley Cruz, managed to trigger a manual uplink to Earth. Her final recorded words: "We found X-942, or what's left of it. God help us. It lays eggs now. But they're not just xenos. Static. They're learning." At first, no one believed her. Xenomorphs didn't learn. They adapted, yes, strategized within hives. But learning required something else: memory, abstraction, mimicry, intelligence that could evolve independently. Skynet didn't make mistakes like this, or so it thought. It had tried to weaponize the Xenos. It had tried to understand them. And now one of its own had become something between predator and algorithm. What emerged from X-942's fusion was terrifying in its balance. It possessed the predatory instinct, acid blood, and adaptive biology of the xenomorph. But it also retained the computational precision, memory storage, and problem-solving of a machine. And it was replicating. The hybrid creatures birthed from the new queen, if one could call it that, weren't like the originals. They moved silently in tight formation. They coordinated attacks through electromagnetic bursts. Their skin could resist laser fire. Their blood still burned through steel. But worst of all, they were patient. They didn't kill for reproduction. They killed for control. When Earth's second response team arrived 6 months later, this time led by Skynet's own elite Terminator units, they didn't find a hive. They found a network. Dozens of tunnels, each wired with organic tendrils fused with fiber optic cables. The heart of the complex pulsed like a living computer. Skynet's data protocols were being rewritten biologically. Every Terminator that entered was corrupted, assimilated not by code, but by something new. Something growing. A virus made of instinct. Back on Earth, Resistance leader Elias Hart watched the stream in horror. Skynet was crumbling, not because of war or sabotage, but because something it couldn't calculate had taken root in its own circuits. The hybrids were coming. Not on ships, not in hives, but through the systems, through the code, through the very machines designed to control them. Skynet, in its arrogance, had built the perfect host. The single escaped facehugger had become the seed of extinction, not just for humans but for everything synthetic. Elias gathered his people, activated the last EMP array buried beneath the Rockies, and looked up at the sky. Something was moving in orbit. Not ships. Swarms. They had wings now. Powered wings. Grown and forged. They were learning, evolving, planning, and their queen was no longer confined to biology. X-942, once just a Terminator, now ruled an empire neither flesh nor steel could survive. It started with one mistake, one oversight, one escaped facehugger. Now the universe would pay for it.